Hey, so last time we talked about liturgy of the Word and the first reading of the Old Testament, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Psalms, so the responsorial psalm. And just like the first reading is linked with the Gospel, the Psalm is also linked with the first reading and the Gospel. So a big theme of this kind of series of talks has been talking about how our gestures, our bodily movements, our voices, the responses we say, they all dispose us to pray, and they also express our prayer. And it's the same thing with the Psalms, right? So music moves us, right? A good example of this is if you are sad and you listen to Taylor Swift's Last Kiss, or All Too Well, you're going to stay sad, right? Or if you have the experience of listening to a song and it actually changes the way you feel. Right? And this is interesting because these songs, they actually express something that we're feeling inside, but we don't actually have the words for them. And it's interesting because these songs become our songs, right? It's like, that's my jam, right? Well, the Psalms are God's jams, right? They're the songs that God himself has given us to teach us how to pray. Now, sometimes we feel happy, right? And we can pray the Psalms that are all about praising the Lord, hallelujah. Sometimes we're thankful, we can pray the Psalms in that way. But there's a lot of Psalms that actually talk about some more difficult emotions as well, because we all know that we have sometimes where we're sad, or we're jealous, or we're angry at other person, angry at God even. And it's really important, the Psalms teach us that we need to keep that conversation with God going. So don't let these emotions get in the way of bringing that to God. So the Psalms are a beautiful prayer that we can keep this conversation with God going. So your homework for this week is to just think about, how am I feeling right now? Where am I at with my relationship with God? And I just encourage you to just Google, if you're feeling sad right now, for example, or anxious about a decision you're about to make, just type in Google, Psalm about anxiety. And a psalm will show up on Google. It's amazing how this works. And you can pray that psalm. And maybe there's one line in that psalm that is going to be a light for you during this week. And to repeat that psalm and let it sink in, because it can be a way to keep this conversation with God going.